Lately, I've been leaning into something that might sound a little strange in 2026. I've been choosing a more analog life, which might sound funny considering that most of my life and work exists online. But I've been trying to spend a little less time consuming things on a screen and a little more time doing things in the real world. Oh my goodness. So yummy. Good morning. I have been working more than I normally do and some good stuff coming up, but I lost a lot of sleep because of it and I'm just tired. I just had a lot on my mind. All good stuff again, but I had a lot on my mind, so I couldn't sleep well. So anyways, today we're being gentle. I'm having a little smoothie because it's late. It's almost 10 o'clock. I started noticing how often I would reach for my phone without even thinking about it. I'd be sitting with coffee in the morning, I'd pick up the phone and do a few minutes of scrolling that somehow turns into 20 minutes or sometimes even an hour. And it's strange because I did not grow up like that. I think part of that comes from being Gen X because we're one of the last generations that really remembers life before all of this digital noise. Remember, we're the ones that drank out of a water hose and didn't die from it. We grew up before smartphones, before being connected all the time. And if you wanted to talk to a friend, you'd call their house and hope that they were home. And boredom was just normal. We didn't immediately reach for something to fill the silence. We read books, we wandered outside, we made things. We didn't come home before dark. And looking back now, I realize how much space there was in life back then. But I remember before smartphones were really a thing, I went into a cell phone store to get a new phone. I had one of those dumb phones back then, the flip phones where you had to double, sometimes triple press a number just to get the letter you wanted to type a text or an email. I know, that was a long time ago. But I still remember the sales guy saying, "Oh yeah, we don't really carry those anymore. All we have now are these new phones with cameras in them." And I just looked at him like he was probably really crazy and thinking how ridiculous that sounded. Why would I want a camera on my phone when I already had a perfectly good camera? I just wanted a plain old phone. And wow, how times have changed. I don't think that I realized how much digital noise had slowly crept into my life until probably a year ago. It didn't happen just suddenly. It was quiet, little by little. And my mind, it started to feel full all the time and I couldn't focus as much. Even reading a book was hard, and I'm an avid reader. I just kept picking up my phone and distracting myself. I think the other thing I started noticing was how much I was consuming every day. News and reels, shorts, posts, updates, constantly looking at everybody's life on Facebook or Instagram. It was just a constant stream of information coming at me all the time. And I realized something about myself. As an empath, I carry a lot of that energy with me, and it was starting to take a major toll on my mental health. I'm one of those people that feels things pretty deeply. And when I'm constantly taking in everything happening in the world, it starts to feel overwhelming. Not because I don't want to be aware of what's going on, but because our brains, in my opinion, were not really meant to absorb that much all day long and to know every single little thing that was happening in everybody's life. And I started noticing how scattered my mind felt because of it and the anxiety that would creep in. What I also noticed after a while was that when I wasn't constantly consuming, I naturally started creating again. It started off slow. I was knitting, I was painting, doing some journaling, cooking things from scratch, like with my fresh milled flour and using my grain mill, even sitting down to work on a puzzle. And there's something about using your hands like that that feels really grounding. It slows your mind in a completely different way than scrolling ever could. I remember when I was younger, I used to sit for hours with my grandmother putting puzzles together. It's such a fond memory of mine, spending that quiet time with her and just relaxing into a puzzle. And now when I pull out my puzzle pieces and start putting the pieces together, I feel like my grandmother is sitting there with me and we're both enjoying this moment. I've also found myself drawn back to physical things lately, like real books and printed photos. art that actually lives on the walls instead of inside a screen somewhere. And I miss holding something real in my hands. Digital things tend to disappear into the background of our devices, but these physical things become part of the space that you live in. I even printed a cute little picture of my soul dog, Lily, that I'm putting in a frame, and my artwork that I just created. I found this cute little wooden frame so I can put it on the wall or on a desk somewhere. But I just love how it transforms my space and just gives me like little reminders of things that I love and enjoy and moments and memories I've created. One thing I've really missed from earlier years is writing letters. There was something special about sitting down and putting your thoughts onto paper, folding the letter, putting it in an envelope, and sending it off into the world. It's slower, but it feels more personal somehow. And the more I've leaned into this more analog way of living, the more I've realized how much I miss that kind of connection. I know I'm all grins right now because I'm just so excited about this project. In my last video last week, I just gave you a quick announcement that I started a snail mail club. It's called the Story Post, and this is the website for it. Well, actually, this is just the waitlist website for it. If you're on the waitlist, you'll get a notification of it. I just really felt like I missed getting mail, like actual mail. I used to do a lot of letter writing when I was younger, and you know, it was before we had email and all of that. So of course when email came, everybody was like all excited and you could do everything really fast. But there's just something about, you know, slowing it down and not being fast and actually getting something tangible in the mail that feels really good. So I decided to start the Snail Mail Club and see where it goes. So what I've decided to do is I'm going to put a letter. I'm going to write a letter to you all every single month. I'm going to put in a photograph or a piece of art that I created. So on this particular one, I painted this little mug of coffee, which of course is indicative of what I love. And I feel like kind of slowing down. So you'll get that. Or something like that. You'll get a recipe card because you guys are always talking to me about how you want my recipes, and I thought like maybe I could even do like some seasonal recipes maybe. You'll also get a prompt card or like just like a tiny little snippets of like things you can do on a daily basis to kind of slow down and implement some of the things in your life that I've been doing or things that I can be doing myself. I know some of you have said like, I work full time, how do I do this? And I know, I get it. I don't think I actually made that really clear to you all before, but YouTube is my job and I work a lot at it. I put in 40-ish hours a week at least. So I feel like I've created something in my life where I can slow down myself even with being so busy. So a lot of us are still working and we still have those things that are pressing on us that need to be done. But how do we take care of ourselves during those times? Because I don't know about you, but like in the past, trying to take care of myself, I let myself go. I gained weight. I was stressed out. And this wasn't my career and my job. And it was also with what I'm doing with my own business. That's what this is about. It is about slow living and energizing and something beautiful in the mail. At least I think this is beautiful, but it'll change from month to month. And a sweet little note in there for you guys. The cards for like slow living and like the little baby steps for it, they're going to be small cards so you can stack them and keep them, and you can kind of sift through them when you want to like just have a little reminder about something that maybe you can be doing to help yourself. Click the link in the description box if you want to get on the wait list. If you just go to amberjbaldwin.com/thestorypost, you'll find it. Or just go to the website and at the very top you can go to the story post. You will be able to sign up. So it has everything that I've included, and here's the wait list. You just go in and put in your email address and get on the wait list. And then, an important thing that I didn't even say, because I'm just so excited about like my little art and everything. You can see Lily and Georgie here. So Lily is my dog. There's Georgie, my newest addition. Proceeds from the Story Post Snail Mail Club is actually going to go to animal rescue, which is near and dear to my heart. I'm going to send every single month a portion of that. I'm actually going to notate online what organization I gave it to and how much it was. And then I'm also going to share it in my videos as well. And if you guys have a favorite organization that you really think should be deserving of the proceeds every single month, then let me know. Put a comment in videos, put a comment on my website, send me a message. Let me know why you think we should send it to this organization and who they are and some information about them, because I have my favorites, but I know you guys have your favorites too. And I feel like this is just a collaborative community effort that we can all join in together and help other people. Before I actually, by the way, my office is just a total wreck right now. I have just stuff everywhere. I know. This is acoustic material to put on the walls because it's so echoing here when I do my actual voiceovers. You would laugh at me because I typically throw a yoga mat behind here, and then I actually put a huge blanket over my head to do my voiceovers so that it actually sounds good. But this is actually supposed to be my painting area, and I bought this big old cutter for the new snail club, and I have to find a new home for it. I think I need to find a place here, but I got my paints here. I don't know. It is a work in progress right now. I'm literally running out of room in here. I really should get a 2-bedroom apartment or a house or something because this is just not working anymore. And then I bought this gigantic printer, which you can see it's kind of out in the open, and it is not Wi-Fi capable, which I don't know why I missed that. But so I've got to go out and find a cord that will actually hard connect it to my computer. This is my new printer, my Epson. I just love it. That is what I printed these with. They turned out really, really well. Very colorful. This is on matte paper. I just love how my print turned out. I think I need to go to the grocery and get a few things and then see if I can find that cable that can connect the computer to the printer. That's old school, man. All right, I'm gonna go into the store, see if they've got a cable over here. It's a little bit rainy today. I think they're calling for flash floods in the area too, which is a little crazy. Okay, I struck out over here at the Fred Meyer, so people go to the Office Depot now. I was hoping, oh my gosh, my hair. I was really hoping that Fred Meyer would have it, because they have like a lot of stuff and I could get groceries and stuff there too. All right, what do I have here? $3 foot, $15.99. 6 foot, $14.99. 10 foot, $39.99. 16 foot, which is longer, $28.99. So weird. Very odd pricing. All right, we're going with the 6 foot and hopefully this works. Had to go to 2 different places because the Office Depot that I went to was closed. They said he had to come all the way over here. This is why I like online shopping. And I had to stop at Starbucks for a little sustenance. Oh, thank you. Because I'm so hungry and I have not even had lunch and it's now like almost 3 o'clock. And my breakfast was very light. So one of the things that I like to get at Starbucks is, thank you so much. You too. I like to get their egg bites and a croissant. Just because it's like on the, you know, better caloric value range. I have my decaf coffee with a splash of milk. What a cute little cup that they have now. Reminds me of like high school or something. Oh my god, look, it says established 1971. That's the year I was born. I didn't even know that. I need to see if I can get this printer working. I'm not gonna lie, it's frustrating me just a little bit. Especially, like, this is why it's so easy to buy stuff on Amazon, which I know Amazon, you love them or hate them. You know, everybody's in like one camp or the other. They're just so convenient, you know? They really are. Now, I wouldn't get the printer cable till tomorrow, but I also wouldn't have to deal with all this rain and traffic. Maybe that's part of my slow living too. I shop online. I'm not a shopper. I've always hated shopping. So when we had online shopping become available, oh, that's my friend. It's so much better than like shopping in stores. You know, especially for us petite girls. They don't have a lot of petites in stores these days. They never have. So finding them online is so much easier. Okay, I'm really hoping that this cable works, because if not, I don't know what I'm gonna do. Okay, and the printer saga continues. I am at Office Depot in Portland, Oregon area, so I can pick up another printer. The printer that I was using is an HP, and I was trying to get it to work, but that printer cable did not work. I ended up calling their tech support, and they said, oh no, it doesn't work with Mac. Oh my gosh, it literally says on their website that it works with Mac. So I'm picking up a printer that actually has a wireless connection. It'll make my life a whole lot easier. And then it's like now 6 o'clock. This has been an all-day saga. I feel like, anyways. So now it's dinner time and I'm starving. So I'm fighting with myself a little bit. Do I go get something to eat, or do I go home and make something because the traffic is a little bit bad going back? Okay, I have sushi tonight because I didn't feel like cooking, and I do have a few things I could heat up, but at last I couldn't be bothered and I just got sushi. I got the printer working. Look at this. Ah, all in like 5 minutes. It didn't even take that long. Shoulda, coulda, woulda. Man, I wish I had known about that one before I tried the HP version. I think the biggest thing I've noticed though is what it's done to my attention. When I spend less time jumping from one thing to the next online, my mind just feels calmer. I can sit with a book longer, I can take a walk without feeling the need to check something or be distracted. It's almost like my brain finally has somewhere to land without all the constant noise and multitasking. Goodness. So while the tortilla dough is resting for a little bit, look what I got. Do you guys know what this is? I got this for passing 100,000 subscribers. And isn't it poignant that it happened on February 14th, Valentine's Day? Okay, I'm gonna show you guys. Oh my goodness. All right, we got a cute little card in here. Congratulations on your subscriber milestone. Oh, and then a letter from YouTube. Do you remember your first subscriber, your 100th, your 1000th? Oh my gosh, I love this. Oh my goodness. What an honor it is to get this. So it says, presented to Amber Baldwin, story chasing for passing 100,000 subscribers. From YouTube. I need to find a place to hang it because I am very proud of this. Like, I know it sounds weird maybe to be so excited about a plaque or whatever, but it's what it represents, you know? And especially because I switched gears and stopped traveling, and this content now is all about slow living. I mean, the themes are relatively the same when I was traveling full time versus now. And it's all about, you know, just creating the life that you really want and love and going after it. And part of that is for me now is slow living and the fact that I was so scared that people wouldn't follow me in this new direction, that people wouldn't resonate with my content. And it feels so validating. It absolutely feels validating that not only did you all come over, I gained so many new subscribers in a very short amount of time, and found this little community of people who were like-minded and who wanted more peace and calm in their life and who wanted to implement more slow living and do things in their life that really feel good to them. I'm so thrilled. I'm so thrilled. So thank you all so much for this. This really is about you all. Seriously, it really is. So thank you so much. She looks a little tiny right there sitting on the back of the couch. And yes, I know I need to put all of these on the wall. I'm getting a few more pieces. I want to figure out how I want to lay it out on the walls. These are all done. So I did these a little bit differently this time. I added spelt, which I don't normally do. And so they were doing this little weird number here when I put it in the tortilla press. It's so good. They're nice and soft, and also my heat was a little too high on a couple of them. I'm gonna let them cool off. Then I will take them, put them in these bags with parchment paper in between like 2 to 3 tortillas. That way I can take 2 to 3 tortillas out at a time and put them in my bread box to thaw them out. So I started experimenting with something really simple. I began taking Sundays off from my phone, which I know probably sounds a little crazy. I wasn't completely off the phone. I might still use Google Maps if I needed it, but no social media, no scrolling, no researching things. And I'll be honest, the first few times it felt really strange. Like I kept reaching for the phone out of habit. But after a while, I felt a little shift happening, and I started to really love how quiet the day felt. I could actually feel my brain begin to relax, and this sense of peace and calm started replacing that constant low-level anxiety. And I'm certainly not perfect at it, but I do try to make Sundays my rest day from the phone, or another day during the week if Sunday doesn't work. This looks so yummy. This smells good too. I'm not trying to live completely offline. I mean, the internet has given me so many amazing things, including this channel and business and all of you. But I do think there's something really valuable about finding a little balance, about creating more space in our days for things that are slower, that are quieter, and a little bit more tangible. And lately, that's meant choosing a slightly more analog life.